Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news, Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at OhioHealth.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at OhioHealth.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at OhioHealth left cancer in the dust.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly, or start shopping online at yourhometowncchevy.com.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber. Simply brilliant.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery, tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
I'm Tyler. And I'm James. We want to thank you for continuing to make the Root Sports and Fitness Center your headquarters for youth sports in Southern Ohio.
Swinging a line to left field. Pates will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Major back to the track, to the wall. It is gone. SOSA's The Dugout is Chillicothe's premier indoor baseball and softball training facility designed to serve local baseball and softball players of all ages. The Dugout is equipped with our fully featured hit tracks, the next-gen data capture and simulation system providing athletes with real-time feedback with the capability of playing in any of the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. The Dugout has a 70-foot by 12-foot batting and pitching cage, and every user has access to baseball and softball pitching machines, plyo wall and arm strength bands, pitching mounts and softball mats, multiple tees and hitting nets. Wall-to-wall AstroTurf, 285-inch TVs and Bluetooth speakers make the Dugout the place to be for all of our area baseball and softball players, no matter the age. Train year-round, improve your performance, and further develop your skills in a fun and competitive environment at SOSA's The Dugout. Located in the heart of downtown Chillicothe at 185 East Main Street. Visit our website at sosadugout.com to reserve a time today.
After a barn burner matchup in our first game of the day with Peebles taking the district title 56-54, we're back here, Kenneth Hay alongside Shane Combs for the other side of the bracket in the D6. We got the Valley Indians versus the Portsmouth West Senators, and what they split the season series. This should be a really good matchup today.
Hey, just another one in a great week and a great weekend here at the Convo. What a stretch we've had here in such a great atmosphere. All of the divisions have certainly delivered for us, and you're right. If that first game was any indication what we're in for throughout this Sunday afternoon, should be another incredible day at the Convo. But look, I think you and I will do just fine. This second game's got all the makings of another instant classic when you consider two teams, same conference, part of a tri-championship. They split in the regular season. They obviously know each other pretty well. Good respect there, but I'm sure they're not crazy about one another, and certainly don't want to watch the other one cut down a district net at their expense. So you add all that up, it should be a pretty good one. Yeah, once again, great weekend also for our area around, and this should just add on top of that. As you said, tying with Wheelersburg, both these teams did for the district. Most recently, Valley picked up the win over Adina in the district semi, 57-47. And normally, Valley is a team that really wants to shoot the three, is normally on fire from outside. But in that game,
21 of 39 inside the arc. Just no answer did Adina have for the Valley Indians.
Well, I think what they really want to do, too, in that is just play with great tempo. So a lot of times when you play with great tempo, if it's going well, you're creating some easy opportunities. You're creating a lot of advantage in the open court, number advantage, and you're trying to play on the attack. So they certainly can shoot it. They have great versatility. But when I turn the film on, and we've had Valley several times in person this year, I think they're a team. They're at their best when they're playing in space with their athleticism and really sharing the ball and getting downhill.
Craig Tackett's unit in that game, paced by junior Jalen Dunham with 18 points. Another performance I want to shout out in that game, Braxton Conaway, 16 points, 10 rebounds, and that was really a highlight performance from the Indians. It
really was, and that's what makes their team so special is you can pick up a box score, click on this, click on that, and game in, game out, it might be someone different. Dunham gives them great consistency there, scoring the basketball, as you mentioned. We've had games where Bender's athleticism has really flipped the script. Obviously, Copen and Lundy, their versatility is really unique, tough to match up with. And then, as you said, Conaway, he can do it with the scoring and the rebounding. But really, everyone's got to be involved on the defensive end because that's where it all starts. When they're able to get stops, when they're able to cause turnovers, take care of the defensive glass, that's what gets them out into the tempo that they would rather play. As you mentioned, a very awarded team this season. Dunham, third team all-district, second team in the league. Bender got second team in the league. Copen, first team in the district and the SOC. Lundy, first team SOC, third team district. Braxton Conaway, first team SOC and honorable mention in the district. And then you get guys off the bench like Elliott Frankie and Isaiah Clark, just all these guys that will come off and just give you solid performance, solid minutes off the bench. Well, and I think that's well said. The spreading of the awards kind of makes sense because it's kind of the spreading of the stat sheet and the spreading of the wealth throughout the year when you watch them play. So be it the defensive end, they're very connected. They pressure at all 5 spots. On the offensive end, they share the ball, can get a lot of different guys involved. And so when you take everything into account, as you're reading down that list, it makes sense that some of those things will be spread out as well. Well, and as you mentioned, both teams battle-tested. The SOC 3 is a dogfight this entire season. As we said, tied for first, but all 3 of those teams had 3 losses in the league. So it's a dogfight around there. Yeah, that's a great point. And what that does is it gets you prepared for this time of year because you not only have your home games, but more importantly for tournament time, those road tests that you experience when you go into those hostile environments and you're playing against high-level competition. At different divisions, you're playing against teams that are down here at the Convo, and not only coming down here to the Convo, but winning at the Convo. So yeah, there's no doubt about it. They've been able to experience some of those highs and lows, and you play a lot of different styles, and obviously the difference in style and tempo will play a big factor in this matchup here. I know you and Bruce mentioned in your preview in the SOC 3, Waverly sits as your 5th team in the standings. They're playing for a district title earlier this week. And then you have these two playing for a district title, Wheelersburg playing for a district title. We'll see South Webster come in later playing for a district title. So just what a league and what a season it is this year in the SOC 3. Well, yeah, and the comment I made the other night, the only team you didn't mention, Menford, all they did was go to the Final Four last year. You know what I mean? So it is. Now, a lot of that's the ability to spread out across a lot of divisions and get opportunities for that so you don't have to beat up on each other. But that's not by accident there. When you see that many teams starting to travel this deep into the tournament bracket, that tells you there's something there. And watching those teams this year, there's so many different stylistic kind of things that go into play. Man, that battle tests you in terms of getting you ready for this time of year. Valley will look for their 10th all-time district title, and flipping over to the lower seed, the Portsmouth West Senators. They're led by who I'd say is the heart of their team, Will Kegley. This guy, first 1,000-point scorer, district player of the year, league player of the year, and just what else can you say about this guy? Yeah, I really, really like his game, and what's so special about it is I feel like he becomes some of their identity on the defensive end. They'll stretch out when they play that 1-3-1. His length and athleticism up top, he'll start to turn sideways, and he can really shrink the floor in a hurry. It's tough to reverse the basketball against him, but you're right. He can really score, and he can get out in the open court, play above the rim. does a really good job. But as you're getting ready to highlight here in our pregame, it goes way beyond him. This team is also extremely well balanced, and they don't lack athleticism beyond Kegley.
Kegley had 18 points in their district semifinal win over North Adams. And as you said, another guy I want to point out, in West wins, I think one of the X factors in all of those and today is the play of Logan McIntyre. That guy, when he's in the zone, can score from anywhere and just can get whatever he wants on the court.
Again, the length, the athleticism, they all kind of get connected in that zone and some of the different things they try to do. Very difficult to score against. They can rebound it. They can protect the rim. What's interesting about the matchup is you'd think West is probably more comfortable sometimes in the quarter court, although they don't mind going up and down with their athleticism. Same way Valley. Valley, when I watch them, I think they would rather run up and down, but they too can execute in the quarter court. And what happens in these matchups sometimes, Kenneth, is it comes down to who plays best in terms of who becomes comfortable in the uncomfortable, because you know what the other team's trying to do. So you throw all that stuff out the window, and it's who can kind of win the tempo, who can kind of get it into the way they want the game to be played the most. But that's not going to be the case for 32 minutes, so there's going to come a time where you have to execute against the strength of your opponent. If you can do that, you can come out on top here today.
West, led by a lot of players who we've seen over the years play big minutes, and hoping that it finally comes together here for their first district title in 41 years. That would be their second ever for the school.
That's exciting, and I think I've heard so much talk with the 7 divisions. I've heard terms like watered down, and I think that's really unfair. I couldn't disagree more. I think what the 7 divisions have done is it separated those top 2 divisions because the enrollment was out of hand in terms of the discrepancy there. So then what it's really done is it's gone from 4 divisions to 5, and it's put competitive balance more on the stage. And I think it's a game changer for the Southeast District, where the Southeast District's always had this they kind of look down upon us across the state. I think you're seeing in girls that we've just highlighted here recently. Look how many girls teams we have into the regional, now into the Final Four. Boys having the same opportunity. It's just a matter of time where some of our very best get a little bit more of a statewide stage, and I think it's going to be a game changer for our district. I really do.
Yeah, as you said, the girls a little ahead of the boys tournament, but we've seen in the past few days Circleville, Unioda, Fairland, Portsmouth all heading to the Final Four, and for Portsmouth and Fairland, it's just repeated dominance that is helping our district. Well, Fairland's in the Southwest, but a team around our coverage area helping the credibility of our area.
No question, and that's what I'm talking about. You do it once, it's a nice story, right? You start to do it 2, 3, 4 years in a row, it becomes a little bit more the norm, and that's just going to bring more and more credibility, more and more recognition to our great athletes we have here in the Southeast District.
West will look to claim that second district title, and as you said, just another few guys I want to point out: Corbin Miller, the junior, Christian Carrasco, the senior, and Braden Atkins, the junior, just guys that provide solid minutes, and even if they don't pop out in the stat sheet every game, just really solid play on both ends of the floor.
Well, what you find in these types of games, the smallest things can equal so much. You know what I mean? It could be the coach calling on some of that depth for a 3 or 4 minute stretch in the second quarter, maybe in the late third quarter in foul trouble, and you've got to come in. Maybe you get a defensive stop. Maybe you knock down a big shot. So really look for role players in these rivalry matchups to make a big difference, because obviously there's not a whole lot of secrets in terms of X's and O's and personnel. These two know each other really, really well. So many times it comes down to the little thing that maybe you haven't covered just yet that could end up being a huge difference at a huge part of the game.
Rubber match here in the convo. We'll cut to a break, and when we're back, we'll send it down to Lou Horvath with your starting lineups.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC.
Well, the first thing I would like you all to do is to congratulate yourselves because you have made it to the Convo. Commissioner Board of Control of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, the Southeast District Board, and P. Floyd. I want to welcome you to the Convo from District 6 region. It's a district semifinal game between the Senators of Portsmouth West and the Indians of Lucasville Valley. Please remember, the athletes competing here this afternoon are just friendly rivals of members of opposing teams, all looking to get to the state championship. Officials assigned to our game have been selected by the basketball coaches in Ohio through a system approved by the Board of Control. Our officiating team this afternoon: Keith Throckmorton, Monica Ingram, Isaiah Haney, and Thaddeus Smith. They combined for 79 years of basketball officiating experience. The athletes, coaches, and officials are guests of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Requested to regard them as such and so treat them in keeping with the ideals of good sportsmanship. Remember, just as you expect sportsmanship on the court, they expect sportsmanship in the stands. Well, there's a time change, except for here, because there's only one time when you get to the Convo. It's basketball 30. Let's go to our starting lineups. First for the Senators of Portsmouth. A 6'4" senior forward, number 0, Corbin Miller. At forward, he's also a senior, standing 6'3", number 4, Will Kegley. A senior, standing 6'2", calling a forward, number 10, Kristen Carrasco. At guard, he's a 5'9" junior, number 11, Braden Atkin. And your guard, he's 6'4", he's a senior, he's number 23, he's Logan McIntyre. Caleb Vanning as the head coach, just by David Michael, Mikey Atkins, Isaiah Norman, and Jesse Dixon. Now introducing, wearing their home whites, the Indians of Valley. A 6-foot junior guard, number 1, Jalen Dunham. He's at forward, he's a 6'2" junior, number 2, Jackson Bender. In the post at 6'2", a senior, number 4, Kristen Copen. Your junior forward at 5'11", number 11, Blake Lundy. And a 6'2" junior guard, number 13, Braxton Conaway. Craig Tackett's the head coach, assisted by Drew Brown, Elijah Kraft, Carson Wireman.
As your lineups presented by Lou Horvath, we're about to be underway here. As he says, it's basketball 30.
Really good atmosphere today. I know some of the crowds throughout the week, it's a little tougher for the travel and the weekend here. Certainly could feel it in that first game, and you could sense it here in this second game. Good student sections on both sides. This should be a lot of fun, Kenneth. Let's have a good one.
Copen and McIntyre facing off for the tip. And we are underway here in the Convo, with West winning possession to start the contest.
Looks like Valley's going to start in man-to-man.
Carrasco, handoff McIntyre. Finds the cutting Kegley. Kegley slips and steps out of bounds. Early turnover here for the Senators.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there. He made a great catch, and he's come down. It looked like he lost his footing. An unfortunate break.
Valley's first possession of the contest. As you mentioned, West running that zone that they're known for.
Yeah, they'll stretch out in the 1-3-1. Kegley will be up top.
Dunham's three-pointer in and out. Can't find the bounce there as Carrasco hauls in the rebound for the Senators.
Yeah, not a bad look. Got to the baseline on it, made the zone collapse a little bit. Good inside-out look, just didn't make it.
Kegley inside, turns around, tries to put it up, but he's fouled. Will Kegley will go to the line for the Senators.
Yeah, nice start there. Kegley to be able to get to the line here. Good way to get a good score going.
His first. Team first.
If you haven't watched West much, the 1-3-1 that Kenneth was referring to, watch how Kegley on top of it will almost turn sideways. Will get really big, get the long arms going, and it'll make it really difficult for Valley's guards to swing it from side to side.
As Kegley knocks down the first. Mentioned pregame, District Player of the Year. And just what a season it's been so far.
Yeah,
he
can really impact the game in a lot of ways.
Second free throw up and good for Will Kegley. Dunham brings it up for the Indians. Conaway, long pass to Dunham. Valley trying to work through the zone pressure.
Not always easy to do, but you want to try not to let the ball stick too long. You want to try to move it side to side.
Bender found open. He pulls the three. Back iron. Falls in the hands of Christian Carrasco.
Yeah, Carrasco has a couple defensive boards. That's another important thing, Kenneth. When you go zone, so many times teams have trouble rebounding. West will usually do a pretty good job.
Carrasco handles the elbow over to Kegley. Feed forward, McIntyre down to Adkins. Adkins working in the post, spins around, out to Carrasco. And Adkins will pull it back out.
Good job by Valley, defending the paint for the most part, not having to leave to double.
Adkins pulls a three, near side wing, can't find it. Offensive rebound pulled in by Miller.
Yeah, give Carrasco a lot of credit. He kept that ball alive for Miller to grab it.
Kegley holds it near side wing. He'll go downhill, tries to spin, ball's poked away. Ends up in the hands of Lundy. Three-pointer up. No good. Hauled in by Will Kegley.
Yeah, on the previous possession, Copen was able to knock that ball loose. If they're able to guard one-on-one, that makes it a lot easier.
Shot is up and good. They'll call it on the floor.
No basket, fouls on the floor.
So West will get underneath.
Yeah, good call. The defender had come down on the contact. The offensive player certainly had not left at that point.
We'll get an early timeout here. Coach Tackett wants to talk it over with his unit. After the foul on the floor, we'll give the Senators the ball underneath.
Yeah, so far, you know, it's kind of a fill each other out. You know each other really well. You're settling into the atmosphere. You're trying to find your Valley. Sometimes you execute well and you just don't make the shot. You can't get discouraged with that. I feel like Valley's had a couple times where they've been able to get into the teeth of the zone, kick it out, had some okay looks from the three-point line. They haven't been able to make one yet. Down on the other end, I really like how West has been able to get the ball at the rim a couple times and got rewarded with the call the one time. That time they got the call. He just didn't quite get up into the act of shooting quick enough.
Good ball movement here early for the Senators as McIntyre will handle it underneath.
These special situations are crucial in these tight games. Sometimes can you steal a bucket off an inbound under?
Inbound out of the stack. Long inbound to Corbin Miller.
Valley's going to stay in the zone off of that OB under.
Miller has it far corner, feed down Carrasco on the baseline. Two defenders draw to him. Carrasco tries to feed it to McIntyre, pulls it in. Kegley drives in. McIntyre at the elbow, pulls up, can't find it. Carrasco, offensive board, puts it back up, in and out. And Christian Copen will haul in the rebound for the Indians. Hop step, put it up and in off the glass.
Yeah, the versatility of Copen. Lundy's the same way. When they grab that defensive board, they can start to break so quick because of their ability just to put the ball on the floor and go.
McIntyre has it near corner. Feed up to Carrasco as Valley moves back into man. Kegley pulls it out for West.
Yeah, Valley just so like size across the way, so they can switch when needed. They can usually guard a lot of different types of kids.
Kegley feeds over to Adkins. Adkins pulls a deep three, too short. Christian Copen hauls in another rebound as well, the jump ball. Arrow favoring the Indians.
Valley felt like there was a lot of contact there. Felt like their guy had the rebound. Good effort to come in, even though it's still Valley ball. That kind of steals you a possession later if you're West.
One thing people have talked about all week is the crowds at the Convo, but both these schools and the two schools earlier showing out here early.
No question. Good atmosphere.
Bender, feed down Copen. Copen, hop step, feed out Conaway. Conaway drives in, feed out Dunham. Dunham pulls up from the elbow, too short. Christian Copen pulled in the rebound, and he'll be fouled.
Kind of the big thing, Valley cannot get frustrated here because they're playing pretty good offense. Like right there was an example of a couple different penetrations and some kicks. So they're getting to where they want. They just haven't seen the ball go through yet. But as long as you continue to play good offense against it, the shot will come.
They'll pick up Richards off the foul, and Dunham throws it off his back into his hands, gets his own rebound. Copen with another offensive rebound, and what a good job here early on the boards. Feed down Dunham. Fouled, can't knock it in though, so he'll go to the line for two.
Yeah, what a clever little play from Dunham there, and he just missed the point blank layup, but to their credit, they kept playing, and now Dunham with a nice cut there will get fouled and go to the line.
At the strike, Jalen Dunham, 2 shots.
Dunham led the way in the win over Adena, 18 points in that contest as he knocks in the first.
You follow the teams throughout the year, I would guess West would be the team a little bit more comfortable playing the lower scoring game. Valley probably like to see the game get up and down and get some points on the board.
Dunham knocks in both. 4-2 Valley lead early here in the first quarter. Kegley feed down to Richards. Richards puts it up and is fouled.
Great activity away from the ball there. Great cut. He had the advantage by the time he caught the ball. He was already playing downhill to the rim with about a half step on the defender. As a result, got fouled in the act of shooting.
At the line, Owen
Richards, a junior who we've seen multiple times, provides good, solid play off the bench for the Senators.
Yeah, a lot of energy.
Can't knock down the first.
Elliot Frankie into the game.
See Elliot Frankie check in for the first time for the Indians.
Jackson Bender.
Second free throw for Richards. No good. Rebound tipped up in the hands of Conaway.
They missed the opportunity there, empty trip. And
Copen feed over to Dunham. Trying to work through the zone. Conaway feed down, spin, Copen loses the ball, ends up in the hands of Kegley. And he'll be fouled in transition. West will once again get it underneath.
Yeah, just an example of what I'm talking about. It just takes one or two decisions down on the other end. So much length. Out comes West with the turnover, and it ends up in an open court opportunity.
McIntyre will handle the BOB for the Senators. Richards gets it over to Kegley to McIntyre.
Notice again how Valley went zone out of that OB under, and they'll stay in it.
Senators working the ball around here. Feed down Kegley, pulls up from the mid-range, in and out. Blake Lundy will haul in the board. Miscommunication there. Lundy ends back up with it. Copen.
It's a lot easier to look at the zone and know where you need to go than it is to actually be out there against the length of West.
We'll get a foul on the floor. That'll be Richards' second here early.
According to the board, I might be his
Owen Richards with his third.
third.
That is his
That's
third.
his third. Earlier, I questioned who they'd given the foul on. It was Richards. That's his.
Brasco coming back in the game.
It's his third. So
First time, Harrison Richards.
going to cut into the first half playing time there for sure.
We'll see Harrison Richards check in alongside Christian Carrasco. Copen will handle underneath for Valley. Gets it in Dunham. Crosses over, feed over Lundy. Just trying to make their way, carve through the zone.
Got Braxton Cameron in the game, playing the middle of that zone now.
Copen on the baseline, feed out. Conaway steps in, pulls up, and knocks it in.
A little bit what I'm talking about, just stay confident in what you're doing. They've had some quality looks at the basket. You know, with the talent you have, it's just a matter of time till the shots start to fall, and there they got one to go down.
Senators working the ball around, trying to find their way through the Valley defense. McIntyre takes the screen from Kamer, feeds over. Carrasco thought about the three, but won't take it. Feed over Kegley. Kegley's three. It's good.
Yeah, much needed there. Good looking stroke. At his size, can get that shot off just about any time he wants.
Conaway feed down to Lundy. He'll spin. He'll kick out. Dunham pulls the three, top of the key. Can't find the bounce. On the follow, though, Blake Lundy.
Yeah, and again, they're just doing a good job of getting deep into the zone. So then on the kick out, even though they missed the three, what happens, that's when the offensive rebound comes because the defense is scrambling to kind of reform and chase the shooter off the line, get the one-on-one opportunity on the glass.
McIntyre off the handoff, takes the screen for Carrasco, drives baseline, hops, puts it up. Too strong. Hauled in by Conaway.
This is where Valley really wants to go and push the tempo a little bit. Good recovery from West.
As you said, McIntyre tipping that ball out of bounds, almost intercepting the pass.
I'd like to see Valley play with just a little bit more tempo off of that defensive rebound, try to beat the zone down the floor. Don't necessarily have to take the quick shot if it's not there. Just kind of push the tempo a little bit and put a little bit more pressure on West to get back and get set up.
Valley holding an 8-5 lead with under 20 left to play in the first. Lundy's pressured, tries to get it out. Ball's tipped by McIntyre, excuse me, Kegley. Kegley spins, puts it up, blocked. Jackson Bender, Kegley is back up with it, and he'll be fouled on his attempt.
Yeah, great effort all the way around. Just another example where when you get to the different spot in the zone and you draw the second defender, the ball's got to move. You start to over dribble, and now all of a sudden you've got 6'4", 6'4", 6'5". You know what I mean? West becomes really big. Not as much room to throw out of there. Notice how they got the deflection and, again, got out into the open court.
Kegley's second trip to the line tonight. First free throw up and good for the senior.
Has all 6 of West's points, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. So always good to see a scorer get to the line early, see that ball go in. Those are the types of things that lead to big nights.
Kegley gets them both. 4.1 left to play. Dunham takes the shot at the buzzer, too short. Valley will lead 8-7 after one. We'll cut to a break. You're watching Ohio High School District Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at OhioHealth.
Our postseason coverage sponsored in part by G&J Paving. G&J Paving, serving Southern Ohio for over 30 years. And Centerpoint Church. Centerpoint believes in investing in the next generation and is proud to support high school sports across the region. Visit centerpoint.church for service times and more information. Centerpoint Church. We welcome you back into the convo as after one, Valley holding an 8-7 lead over West.
Yeah, pretty much what we expected. Points tough to come by. Teams that know each other well, tough to score against them in the quarter court. getting in the second quarter, team's getting a little bit better flow here. Let's look to see who can utilize their defense to maybe string together some stops or maybe even create some easier chances in the open court offensively.
McIntyre handling for the Senators. Takes the screen from Kamer, feed over Carrasco. Kegley going to work, feed out. Carrasco gets it to McIntyre. He'll pull the three. Can't find it. Rebound by Lundy, feed out. Pump fake, and Dunham will fall. They'll call the foul. That'll be Kegley's first.
Kenneth, one of the
get on the baseline.
Kenneth, one of the consistencies we've seen throughout our entire week here at the Convo is how the 2 3-point lines continue to push a lot of kids way off the line, more so than what I see throughout the regular season. Just something to keep an eye on today if you haven't been watching games down here.
Lundy pulls the mid-range off the inbound, can't find it. Kamer pulls in the rebound.
Say West has to really like where the game is tempo-wise. They've been the one kind of dictating when to go and when to hold back. I'd say that they're most comfortable in this particular pace to this point.
As you said, Senators taking their time with the basketball. Feed down Kamer. Kamer puts it up with one hand, can't find it. Ball be tipped out of bounds off the Indians. Senators will get it underneath.
Yeah, really like the sophomore. Kamer, he's got some versatility himself. They use him in some pick and pop and so forth. He's going to go out here, but he'll give good minutes to West throughout the day.
Long inbound in here to Adkins. Over to McIntyre. McIntyre pulls the three, too short. Rebound in the hands of Jalen Dunham. Dunham, the junior, drives in, puts it up off the glass, finds the roll. Coast to coast, Jalen Dunham.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'd like to see them, even if they have to force it a little bit, push that tempo, get the game going a little faster. An official timeout. I don't know if it's blood there with Copen.
Jackson Bender returns to the lineup.
Got Bender back in for him, and the trainer going to take a look down there.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the second. Valley up 10-7 over the Senators.
Going back to that point I was making, where notice how that time he just went almost. He was convinced he was getting all the way to the rim off the dribble one way or the other, and what that does is just off the missed shot or off a turnover, it allows Valley to just kind of pick the tempo up a little bit.
Adkins jab step drives baseline, puts it up, can't find it off the glass. Carrasco's follow. They'll get him for a foul on the floor. It'll go to the Indians.
Yeah, big call there. That's the difference in the 2-point putback compared to going the other way, and official was right on it. Felt like there was some hands to the back there. That's what created the space and a break for Valley.
Dunham will bring it up for the Indians. Bender looking somewhere to go with the ball. Bounce pass over to Dunham, and he'll pull it out. Lundy tried to feed it down. Ball's knocked out of bounds.
It's kind of a real gray area sometimes, Kenneth, when you're going against the zone. Sometimes the belief is if I stretch the zone out, it gives me more room to get into the zone, if that makes sense. When you get right up on the 3-point line, West is so big, you feel like there's about 8 orange jerseys out there. If you spread them out, and then once you get into the zone, then move your shooters in on the line, sometimes you get that inside out. Again, with the 2 3-point lines, you got to make sure you're stepping into the correct line, or what you end up doing is shooting too many threes from way off the college line.
Bender. Feed over Dunham, passes tipped, ends up in the hands of Bender. Bender drives in and is foul on his attempt. Dunham, excuse me.
Good job of just staying with it there. Again, I think even Kegley had a fingertip on that pass, and they come away with it, though, and Dunham going to go back to the line. He was 2 for 2 in the first quarter. He has 4 on the afternoon.
First free throw, no good for the junior.
Yeah, the other part, if you're West, you're off to just a really rough start from the floor, yet you're only down 3. So you're just trying to hang in with your defense, try to get some offense going.
Second free throw finds the bounce. Miller passes intercepted, knocked out of bounds. They'll say it was off of Conaway.
Yeah, good scouting. They went sideline break off the free throw, and obviously, as we said, these two teams know each other really well. You're going to be all over that type of stuff. If you're West, you just can't assume it's there. You can't just turn and throw it without looking.
McIntyre jab step, drives in, puts it up, gets it to go.
Yeah, so skilled when he gets in that aggressive mindset. I really like when he attacks the rim.
Lundy hop step feed over. Conaway feeds down to Lundy, back out. Dunham, pass over, Bender, his corner 3, can't find the roll. Offensive rebound out to Dunham. Dunham's mid-range, bounces around and in.
Yeah, one of the best possessions Valley's had. Great ball movement, led to the offensive rebound, and then the mid-range jumper.
Ball moved around here for the Senators. Carrasco holding over to Miller.
Looks like here they've gone into the chase mode against Kegley.
McIntyre will pull, and it goes in.
It's what you want if they're going to go to the defense and kind of face guard Kegley with the box and one. You want other guys to step up.
Corbin Miller tips the pass to himself.
Miller, another guy with length. He's starting to get a lot of deflections.
McIntyre holding for the Senators. Kegley handoff, McIntyre, he'll pull another, 2 short. And the ball will roll out of bounds and it'll go back to the Indians.
Yeah, just when they were coming off the handoff there. Again, he just got caught too far off the college line. Turned into a really, really deep 3. You could see the mannerisms from some of the coaches over on the bench just telling him to kind of scoot in, get tighter on that handoff to the actual line.
As you've said, we've seen that extra line affect teams all week. Lundy feed down to Copen. Copen back out to Lundy. He'll drive in. Dunham feed over to Bender. Lundy in the corner, feed down to Copen. Copen back out, Bender. Thought about the 3, pulls in from the elbow, pulls up, can't find it. McIntyre hauls in another board.
Another pretty good possession, not a terrible look. Just Valley not able to knock shots down.
Kegley going to work, spins, puts it up. Corbin Miller. They'll get him for a foul.
Now I think when Miller knocked the offense rebound up in the air, I think they said it went up underneath the backboard. I think that's what they got him on, and that was the out of bounds going the other way.
Indians holding a 13-12 lead. Conaway feed down to Lundy. Back to Conaway, Copen. Working the ball around here. Going to work, Copen puts it up, and they'll get him for an offensive foul. Harrison Richards putting his body on the line for the Senators.
Well, and it was the right move by Richards one way or the other because it was a great ball movement, a swing all the way around. They got the mismatch on the baseline size-wise, so once he made the physical move, if you're Richards, you might as well fall and sell it because you're not going to stop him there one-on-one, so you might as well go ahead and really draw attention to it. He's able to do it correctly and earn the charge.
McIntyre brings it up for West. Kammer over to Atkins, down to Kegley. Kammer handoff Kegley. Screens him, falls down. Ball on the ground, gets it to Adkins. Adkins drives in, puts it up, and lays it in off the glass. We'll get a full timeout. We'll take it with them. 14-13 lead. 30-second, excuse me. It's like West was asking if it was a full timeout. That's what I was looking at, so I assumed it was, but 30-second timeout thanks to Carson Francis.
That's like the second or third time Kegley's lost his footing there a little bit. He went to remember on the first play of the game, he lost his footing, went down on the baseline there, tried to cross back over, lost his footing. Now, to his credit, he was able to keep his composure and then find Atkins, and the way the play started to break down, ended up giving Atkins an easy path to the basket to lay it in.
14-13, West holding on to a 1-point lead with 2:31 left to play here in the half, and as you said, just excellent effort by Kegley there to find Atkins, and he just drives in, lays it in.
Well, I mean, West all of a sudden has found a hot streak of shooting to get all the way up to 24%. they were in some single digits there for a while. They couldn't buy a basket. They were able to get to the free throw line just enough to hang in there, and then now all of a sudden they find themselves up one. So, as I've said a couple times here in the first half, I feel like tempo favors West. The style of the game is probably more what they're comfortable playing.
As you said, the low-scoring matchups favor West with their zone defense just so suffocating. Their win over Valley earlier in the season at home, a low score compared to the loss away in Lucasville. Frankie, ball's tipped, gets it back. Dunham pulls the three, can't find it.
Yeah,
Under 2 minutes left to play here in the half.
Another really deep one. Valley's had some really good possessions. I didn't love that one, but they've had some really good possessions against the zone.
Kegley's pass offline, but bounces off an Indian defender. They'll get it from the baseline.
Copen back in the game, so whatever that was, they must have been able to get figured out.
McIntyre long inbound into Adkins.
Off the OB under when they get it in. Valley stays in the 2-3. Gives West a chance to control tempo even more. They're going to really spread it out here.
As you mentioned, West patient with the ball. Controlling their own tempo. Atkins feed down to Kammer. Kammer feed out Miller, pulls the three and gets it. Corbin Miller, the first team all-league selection.
Yeah, love the inside out.
Copen finds a cutting Dunham, and he's fouled. Dunham will return to the line for the Indians.
Yeah, nice cut without the basketball. Again, if you get it down on the baseline, you don't have the ability to hold it there forever, but if you get it there and you know exactly what it is you're looking for, the back of that zone or the bottom of that zone is not quite as long as some of the top and the wings. That's where you can sometimes find a hole in it, and they've been able to do that from the baseline a couple times.
Dunham buries the first.
This will be Dunham's 5th and 6th free throw of the afternoon.
First one off the front iron into the hands of Corbin Miller. McIntyre handling for the Senators. He'll drive in, kick out Adkins over to Miller. Thought about the three, but pulls it down back to Adkins.
Makes you wonder if West doesn't have the thought of trying to hold it. It'd be a long time to hold it. This started up over a minute to go, but now you're down to 38 with a 3-point advantage. I would say the Senators would love to take the final shot of the half.
West slowing down the tempo the whole afternoon so far. Looks like they'll look for last shot.
Yeah, got to be strong with the basketball here and execute.
McIntyre, Copen on him. Crosses over, pulls up, front iron. We're going to foul on the floor.
Kegley's asking for the shooting motion, saying he was trying to tip it. or to go right up with it. I don't know if the official's buying that, but he is going to get the foul and get the OB under.
So with 3.2 left to play, McIntyre will inbound underneath.
Watch Kegley rolling back to the ball here.
Miller, corner three, blocked. Braxton Conaway blocking it at the buzzer. That'll take us to the half, 17-14, West lead. You're watching district basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at OhioHealth.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network, whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber. Simply brilliant.
2 quarters have come and gone here in the convo as the West Centers holding a 17-14 lead over the Valley Indians.
Yeah, really good first half for West in terms of just the tempo and the feel of the game that I think that they want to play. And again, that's just my opinion as I watched both these teams several times this year. I think in this matchup, if West is able to play it in the quarter court and then they're able to find opportunities to go when they want to go, I think that that's going to be their advantage. I'd like to see Valley figure out a way to get this game going up and down a little bit. Now, with that said, Valley has played pretty good zone offense more times than not. I haven't loved a couple possessions, but more times than not, I like what they're trying to do. And as a result, hey, thank you so much. Again, thank you to the OU staff here for getting us the stats at the half. But, when I look at some of the things they're doing against the zone, they're getting some great looks from the floor, and they just haven't been able to shoot it at a high percentage, less than 30%. They're still without a three-pointer on the afternoon. And for the most part, rebounding-wise, West is hanging in there in certain areas, getting out-rebound just a little bit, but it's been one and done, and they've been able to maintain the small advantage because of it.
Yeah, as you said multiple times throughout the matchup, West preferring these lower scoring contests. You see it here early, just want to control the tempo with their tight pressure from their zone that can lead to them just running time off the clock on the other end and finding a score off the cut from Kegley, or McIntyre has had a few shots, and just pure effort so far for the Senators.
Yeah, and what's funny about it is, you look at the stat sheet, Valley has outscored them 8-4 in the paint. They've outscored them 6-2 in the second chance, but it's been Portsmouth West here who's been able to get out in the open court a little bit more, 4-0. I think that's the big stat that jumps out at me. Valley's yet to score off the defense into the open court, and I think that's got to play a factor at some point if they're going to come back here and take control of this game.
That's been a good job so far from West, just making sure, even if it's a miss or make, that they're getting a shot up in the possession and not turning the ball over. You see them pulling the ball out deep into the half court, just wanting to work slowly and finding the best shot, not rushing it. And I think you've seen Valley a few times on the other end rush a few shots where sometimes Dunham will drive in and he has it in his head, I'm going to score, and he does. But other times you see some rush shots so far from Valley.
Well, and to your point there, Valley's done a pretty good job on the glass. They're out rebounding them 16-12. They've had 11 defensive rebounds, and I can only think of once, maybe twice, where they have, with some urgency, turned and just went. And the point that I'm making there is if you can beat the zone down the floor and secondary break, it's a lot easier to find holes in the zone. Once you slow it down and you allow them to put 6'3", 6'4", 6'3", 6'3", at least probably in those front four, man, it's hard to reverse the ball. It's hard to get to where you want to go. How about beat it down the court and see if you can get into something a little quicker and try to get downhill to the rim, and that can go. But look, Valley had some shots that they can knock down. If they'll continue to shoot it with confidence, it just takes one or two, and it could flip a low-scoring game in a hurry.
Now, as you said, on the other side for West, I think they've done a great job just going into their defense so quickly and pressuring the ball off the miss or make full court, so they don't really have time to push the ball on them.
Yeah, scoring-wise, Kegley leads the way with 7, McIntyre with 5, and then obviously there hasn't been a lot of scoring. You had Miller knocked down to 3. Atkins has had the late layup there over on the Valley side. Dunham leads all scores with 8, and then you're only getting 2 from Copen, Lundy, and Conaway. So an offense that used to getting a little bit more firepower in terms of the open court, so far having trouble creating any offense at all.
What have you thought so far about the zone look so far from Valley? Do you think it's a thing they should lean more towards in the second half, or go back to that man, or maybe just a different tempo of it?
All I've really seen from Valley on the film is more times than not they will guard the OB under in that, and then they'll stay in it. Then other than that, they're going to play man. It did look to me like a couple times they were certainly in a box and one type thing. But no, I'd like to see them. I would like to see them turn it up a little bit. I just wonder what that would look like. If you extend out a little bit and put pressure on West to handle the basketball a little bit more against pressure, and to see if you couldn't create just a little bit more tempo, because I think Valley's energy would really go up if they could start to see the ball go in, and I think that's the quickest way to jumpstart the offense, is maybe try to get something off of the defense.
And then what would you like to see from West in the second half? If you're Coach McClanahan, what are you talking over with your unit here in the break?
Don't get baited into what I would assume is coming from Valley. So West knows exactly who they are. They've got an older group here that they've been through some varsity battles together. Obviously been in a lot of tough environments this year, a lot of tough situations. You want to continue to choose when you want to run. And other than that, you want to be back in your 1-3-1. You want to be long. You want to be active. You want to get 5 orange jerseys to the defensive glass and wrap up. Don't let Valley bait you into playing a little out of control. Only run when we want to run. That would be the message that I'm giving to my guys there.
And as you said, not a lot of scoring in the first half outside of Kegley and McIntyre, and what was a low-scoring half overall. Is there a player that you want to see more out of in the second half?
Well, I like the activity of Christian Carrasco in terms of some of the intangibles that he's given, but I would probably say that there's probably something there you can get from McIntyre. We watched him on the drive once. I thought he settled a couple times. I'd like to see him get a little bit more in a downhill mindset and try to really get into the middle and create some opportunities for himself or for others. And then over on the Valley side, I know this is kind of a cop-out. I would almost say everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I just think there's got to be more urgency to go and to play on the attack a little bit. Other than Dunham, everyone else seems to be struggling to find their way into the offense here a little bit. I think Copen and Lundy, they're getting the ball there on the baseline, making some quick decisions. And as a result, they haven't knocked down the three-point shot. They're 0 for 7 from the three-point line. 5 of those 7 I'm probably okay with. I think they've had some really good looks. If that's what you believe in and you feel like the right people are shooting the right shot, then what you're telling your guys there is, hey, let's go out and get those same looks. Let's knock a couple down. We'll be right back in the lead, and we'll take off from there.
Well, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I believe there's been multiple times where they've had these open looks that they just hesitate due to the zone pressure that West is providing, where they think about it too long, and by the time they think about it, there's 3 defenders already in their face.
Yeah, that's a good observation, because what happens against third length, if you don't make the decision right away, it's not there. You know what I mean? They're so long that if you attack and you say, okay, we want to get it here, and then here's the read, you make that read immediately or it's not there, because, again, the length of Kegley, the length of McIntyre, the length of Miller, they're going to close the gap so quick that there has to be decisive, clean decisions.
And as you said, a factor so far in that first half is just Valley, a team that you know wants to use their athleticism so much, and West just doing such a good job of slowing down both Valley's offense and their defense, just pulling themselves out, just making them take time.
Yeah, and it really is. Look, it's tough to turn them over sometimes when when you think of the turnover category. West has only turned it over twice. Now, to Valley's credit, they've only turned it over 4. But again, when you're only creating 2 turnovers, there's not a whole lot of opportunity for you to get out and create that tempo that I'm talking about. That's why I say the one thing I feel like Valley has controlled more times than not is the defensive glass. I would look to even push it off of some of these misses, because the versatility of Copen and Lundy gives you the chance to turn and go in many situations.
Is there anything specifically you'd like to see on this first possession as Valley will start?
Well, obviously in the first possession, you know you're going to see the zone because it's already set. Stay aggressive, look to attack the seams, shoot the ball with confidence. You can't play with hesitation.
As we just mentioned, Valley will start the ball for the second half. Feed over, Conaway in the corner. Feed down to Copen. Tries to get it to Dunham, but the ball just intercepted there by Carrasco.
Yeah, got the ball to a side and they never let it out. And again, once they shrink the floor, that's not going to end well for the opponent.
Miller puts it up, can't connect. Lundy hauls in the board, he pushes down. Feed to Copen, Copen's fouled.
And Kenneth, that's it right there. So you were asking about how do you get it to go. Like, it was off of a missed shot where they immediately were able to rebound and go. That's one of the few times you've watched Valley play in the open court with a numbers advantage.
They'll call the foul on the floor, so out of the box. Dunham will inbound. Long inbound here to Conaway. Conaway feed over to Lundy. Ball's tipped. Will Kegley on the steal, puts it up in transition and is fouled. Kegley once again returns the line for the Senators.
Yeah, and just like that, again, that's how the frustration can mount. You get the open court opportunity, and all you get out of it is a common foul. You don't get rewarded in the act of shooting. So you come right back out, you throw the ball in bounds, and there's Will Kegley doing what Will Kegley does, which is just basically disrupt the entire top part of your zone offense.
Kegley's first free throw up and good. One thing through all these facilities, always a nail at the free throw line to line it up, and you see Kegley looking for it early there.
Whatever he's doing at the free throw line's working today. He's perfect so far. Let's see if I jinxed him.
Second free throw, off the back iron, and we'll get a held ball here. Arrow in favor of the Senators, so they'll get it back underneath.
Now, according to Carson Francis earlier this year, that has nothing to do with the free throw being missed, but I still apologize to Will there.
Just bad timing there on the comment. Senators working the ball around in the hands of Adkins over to McIntyre. Adkins drives in, kicks out Miller, pulls the top of the key, 3, and it banks in. It might be Sunday, but the bank is open there for Corbin Miller.
Hey, you certainly take it, and all of a sudden they're up 7, and that feels like 20 in this type of pace.
Dunham too short on the mid-range jumper. Kegley spins, going to work, puts it up, and finds the roll. What a start here in the second half for the Senators.
Yeah, it really is. Remember what I talked about, run only when you want to run. Well, that's one opportunity. You get Kegley into the open court, you definitely want to score early.
Conaway too strong on the three, pass intercepted. Tipped out of bounds there by Jalen Dunham as West was trying to push in transition.
Yeah, and again, West feels a little bit momentum here. Feels like they have Valley going a little bit. And that's the point I was trying to make at the half. I'm not saying that West's an athletic group. I'm not saying they can't run. I'm saying make sure that you're running when you want to run so that you have complete control in the tempo of the game.
Kegley gets it into Adkins. 23-14 Center lead with 6:18 left to play in the third. Corbin Miller, open three, and knocks it down. Trifecta there for Corbin Miller.
It's his third triple of the afternoon. A little bit of a danger time here for Valley. Much need of a bucket.
Dunham fakes the pass, goes over Conaway's corner, three, in and out. Ball on the floor. A roll out of bounds, and they'll give it to the Senators.
Again, the same story's kind of continuing here the third quarter. You don't hate some of the looks Valley's getting. There's good penetration. Kick to an outstanding shooter there in the corner. He couldn't get it to go, and then obviously just a 50-50 ball just being kicked all over the place down there ends up going in favor of West.
Three just skips off the rim from Conaway, and you wonder, as you said, the three-point line extension, if it's pulling these shooters out more than they're comfortable with.
It certainly has all week long. If you've watched as much as we have here from the best seat in the house, it has certainly been a factor in the shooting and the overall offense in terms of how far it's pushed some of the offenses off the line.
McIntyre drives baseline, kick over Carrasco. Feed down Miller. Miller, two straight threes for the Senators. McIntyre drives in, pulls up from the elbow, and knocks it down. Timeout, full timeout here from the Indians, and we'll take it with them. You're watching Ohio High School District Basketball and Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber, simply brilliant.
Once again, our postseason coverage presented in part by G&J Paving. G&J Paving, serving Southern Ohio for over 30 years. And Centerpoint Church. Centerpoint believes in investing in the next generation and is proud to support the high school sports across the region. Visit centerpoint.church for service times and more information. Centerpoint Church, as you see our Brock Netter on the baseline, texting up a storm, maybe providing updates for this wonderful contest we've had so far.
Man, he's a busy fella, I tell you. I following him throughout the week. I mean, we've been here in the comfort of our seat, and he's been down here a lot of time, but he was on the run to 2 or 3 different places some of these days, so obviously does an incredible job. Appreciate all that he does to support our kids in the Southeast District.
Had 3 contests yesterday, the 2 here, and then drove over to Logan for the girls matchup.
Yeah. 11-0 run here coming out of the half for West. Couldn't draw it up any better if you're rooting for the Orange today.
Bender gets it to Dunham. Dunham drives in, falls down, and we'll get a foul on the floor.
Again, a good opportunity into the middle there, kind of results in a common foul. And yes, those common fouls add up, but again, all it does is put you in the OB under, and you still got to figure out a way to score.
We'll get Carrasco for his second as the kick out to Conaway. Conaway pulls up from the mid-range and can't find it. Off the offensive board, Lundy follow, and he's fouled.
That might be the factor that they really need. They did out-rebound West in that first half. If they can get on the offensive glass, that might be their ticket to get back in this a little bit.
Lundy's first attempt rolls in. Lundy, a first-team all-league selection, had 14 points in their win over Adena.
He's a really versatile player. He's a tough matchup for people because of his physicality. Plays a little bit bigger than the roster says he is.
Second attempt off the front iron ends up in the hands of Will Kegley. Valley providing some full court pressure here. Tire spins, feed to Miller, back down McIntyre on the baseline, feed down, Adkins found wide open underneath, just lays it in off the glass. Richards, excuse me.
Yeah, Richards was able to find an opening. Here's the length taking over again.
Kegley in transition, puts it up, can't finish off the glass. Miller, another steal. Miller, feed down Kegley. Kegley with the reverse, puts it up and in.
Great patience there from Miller to know that Kegley was with him. He just couldn't find him. Then he delivers the nice pass for the easy two.
32-15, Senator lead, just over 4 left to play in the third. Bender pump fake, drives in, tries to feed it in, ball's intercepted on the ground. And we'll get a jump ball, favor in possession of the Indians.
Another example where they're trying to throw over. We've watched that now 2 or 3 times in recent possessions where they're trying to throw over the size.
Coach Tackett wants to talk it over with his unit. 32nd timeout here and what has been an excellent run out of the half for the Senators.
Yeah, it really has. And I'll tell you, it was tough to see this type of scenario really either way. You know what I mean? You looked at these two teams throughout the year as a very even matchup. You felt like two teams know each other well. They come in and kind of slugfest back and forth. So the first half was a little bit more what I expected. I thought it would be a low scoring, just kind of physical, ugly at times on the offensive end. But the West, to their credit, they've been able to come out here in the third quarter, and they're the ones that's been able to create some opportunity at the three-point line and out in transition.
Yeah, we've seen the triples from Corbin Miller and just what excellent plays provided on the other end of the court, leading to 2 steals that Kegley couldn't finish the first, but they got the second to go.
Yeah, and again, it's just the length that they surround the court with defensively. You can't throw over top of it.
Copen tries to get it back. Ball's tipped out of bounds off the pass by Bender. They'll say it went off of Copen. Officials will meet up. And off of McIntyre, they'll say Valley will once again get it underneath with 3:54 left to play here in the third. Lundy inbound, Bender, top of the key, 3, can't find it. Ball on the ground, ends up in the hands of Kamer. Pushed up the floor, Kegley. Feed down Kamer. Ball fought over, and they'll get Kamer for the foul.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a force there. Nice job by Bender coming over there in transition. The pass kind of put Kamer in a tough spot.
This contest, game 2 of our quadruple header today. Bender, feed over to Frankie. Back to Bender. Valley trying to find a way through this pressure of the zone. And the pass is aired out. They'll go out of bounds, and Senators will get the possession.
Kenneth, that camera angle right there was a great example of just how hard it is to reverse the basketball against Kegley. When from our camera angle there, you're looking right at the back of his number 4, and he just spreads out with great length and great effort, and it just makes it tough to pass from side to side. You do it enough, and you're going to make a mistake, and that's what you ended up seeing there.
Well, just the length that West plays with, it's hard to even see who you're passing to sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And then they bait you in there, and they start to get the likes of McIntyre and Miller coming off of the edges. Even Kamer there playing the middle of it. Carrasco when he's in. I mean, there's just so much length. They'll usually put a smaller guy on the baseline and ask him to run corner to corner, and it allows that length to really spread out. That's why teams that try to play the 1-3-1 but don't have this type of length, sometimes they can get skipped to death. That's not going to happen against West.
West with some ball pressure here. Gets the strip. That's Elliott Frankie. And he'll be fouled on the floor. They'll get in underneath.
And if we've seen this several times too, where those are the types of fouls you wish they would swallow the whistle on because it cost you a layup. So that's happened to Valley 3 times now in the second half where they've been into the open court. They've had a chance to go finish, and a common foul on the court, again, slows the tempo for West. It almost becomes a really intelligent foul. I'm not saying they're giving it on purpose, but I'm saying it certainly helps.
With that being the 5th team foul, Frankie will go to the line.
Elliott Frankie at the strike.
That at least helps Valley. Look, there's 3:11 to go in the third quarter here. Chance to maybe live at the free throw line a little bit. That would be one way back in this thing.
Frankie, a sophomore, I thought has provided good minutes today, just helping Valley work the ball around through the zone.
Yeah, young man plays really hard. Good shooter.
Can't get the second to go as McIntyre holds in the rebound.
Yeah, he traveled. I was going to say he took the extra step. Good call.
Took an extra step there, did Carrasco, and Indians will get the ball again with just over 3 minutes left to play in the third.
Going to be little things to watch as Valley tries to pick up the pressure a little bit. Got to take care of it.
Pass too high, sails over the head of Conaway, and Senators get the ball off another Valley turnover. In this type of deficit, got to be careful with the ball. Full court pressure here from Valley. Adkins brings it across half court back to McIntyre. Adkins over to Miller. Thought about the three, pulls it back down.
Good spacing. West is able to use some of that size to throw over the top. If you're Valley, you want that right there. You want him to dribble because then you can go create the turnover.
Just as you said, Dunham strips the pass, spins, and is fouled on the floor. He'll go to the line in the bonus.
So you see the difference, what I'm talking about on the other end. When you see the size of McIntyre or Kegley or Miller, if they're able to see the trap coming, they're big enough to see over the top of it and pass out of it. If you can force them to put the ball in the court, now all of a sudden you can pressure the dribble. That's what you ended up seeing there, and it led to the turnover.
Dunham's first one rattles in. That gets him 9 on the night for the contest.
Yeah, first point here in the third quarter after having the nice first half of 8.
Second attempt up and good for the third team all-district selection. Valley continuing this full court pressure that's led to many turnovers so far for the Senators. Kegley gets it across half court. Carrasco in the corner, 2 defenders on him. And we'll get a timeout. Coach McClanahan didn't like the look there. It's a full timeout, so we'll take it with him. You're watching Ohio High School Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Back here as the Senators hold a 32-18 lead over Valley here in our second contest of the day as Kegley underneath the pump fake puts it back up and in off the glass.
Yeah, outstanding out of the timeout. Knew what they were going to face on the OB under and executed perfectly.
Winner of this contest will face Peebles after they won and what was a barn burner in our first game of the day. That'll be on Thursday back here at the Convocation Center. Kick ball here from Kegley.
Yeah, and even with the kick, those are just little things that just slow the possession down. It just breaks your rhythm.
Following this contest, the headsets will turn back over to Carson and John Bruce as it'll be Notre Dame facing the Southern Tornadoes in a Division VII district final. Following that, you'll get it back with your volleyball partner, Dewey Daly, for Fairfield versus South Webster.
Now you know it's a big game when Dewey's making the appearance there. No, I'm excited to do that. I love working with Dewey as well, and that should be a really good game as well.
Frankie holding it for the Indians. Feed over to Dunham. Frankie has it. Trying to find the way through the zone. Lundy tries to feed it down to Conaway, but pass is stolen by McIntyre.
The outstanding job by West. They're so hard to play against once they get in the advantage because they can really take control of the tempo.
Carrasco's floater no good. Dunham in transition, lays it up and through the foul. They'll go to the line for two.
Yeah, and that's a little bit more what we've been talking about is creating more of those opportunities. They just haven't had enough of them today. Dunham's going to go back to the free throw line. He's going to shoot his 9th and 10th free throw individually on the day, so he's been pretty aggressive to the rim.
Second attempt up and good. First attempt, excuse me. Second year in a row, we'll have you and Dewey finishing off our district coverage here at the Convo.
Yeah, when you look into the next week, still a lot of basketball to play. I know there'll be some different ways to cover it. We just may not be able to give you the live stream.
Second attempt also good for the junior Dunham.
Important 50-some seconds left here for West. You've played a really good quarter. You don't want to get sloppy with the basketball.
We'll get a timeout here from West.
Timeout, West.
Didn't like the look of that full court pressure from the Indians.
Kenneth, there's a couple things that I'm talking about there. Earlier, they used the timeout to save the turnover, and it got them a chance to go to the OB under, and they were able to come out of the huddle and execute and get Kegley an easy one. Now they're going to be back here in the full court setting. 47 seconds to go in the quarter. If you're West, you want to finish strong. You've had to burn some timeouts here where you've got yourself caught in some bad spots on the court. If you're Valley, you just got to keep after it. You slowly but surely start to get in the open court. You have been able to get into some foul situations where you've been able to get to the free throw line. So continue to turn the pressure up here this last 47 seconds.
Kegley off the inbound. Splits the double team down to Carrasco. Carrasco drives in and puts it up. He's fouled on the floor. They'll get it underneath with 39.6 left to play in the third.
Last time they were able to sneak Kegley right into a seam that they found here.
McIntyre feeds into Carrasco. Richards, tight pressure from the Indians. McIntyre trouble handling it, gets it in, down to Miller. Paul's tipped. Ends up in the hands of Dunham for the Indians, and he'll drive in transition, puts up the floater, can't get it to go. On the follow, slices it off the glass, and it ends up in the hands of Christian Carrasco.
Yeah, missed opportunity there. They did exactly what they wanted defensively. Had some chances at the rim and couldn't make the shot.
We'll get a foul on the floor on the Indians.
So missed opportunity on the other end to cut it to 12, and you'd have been able to get right back in your pressure, but off the miss, it's West that's been able to go. Now if you're West, 12 seconds to shoot. Too easy.
Dunham drives in, and an offensive foul. Will Kegley putting his body on the line.
Yeah, it looked like it was. Couldn't tell if it was Kegley or Richards down there in the back. Nonetheless, outstanding job. Was set for a few seconds, waiting on the contact.
McIntyre off the handoff from Carrasco, puts it up. Can't get it to go to in the quarter. After 3, 36-20. Senator lead will cut to a break. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball from Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
While we have a chance, just want to thank our sponsors. As we've mentioned multiple times, our postseason coverage sponsored in part by Centerpoint Church, G&J Paving, Nice Auto, and then our full season sponsors, whether that be our presenting sponsor, OhioHealth, and our full season sponsors, Glockner, Glow Fiber, The Root Sport and Fitness, Tomlinson Insurance, Willie and Son Trucking, Chillicothe Comfort, Rathkamp Financial, North Fork Animal Clinic, the Schmidt family of restaurants, Chillicothe Truck, Hometown Auto, Kingston National Bank, the Chillicothe Paints, SOSA the Dugout, or our show sponsors, the Haynes Total Healthcare Center and Perfection One, who the Haynes Total Healthcare Show will return in a few weeks, and Perfection One has getting their show back tomorrow, I believe you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna get in the studio tomorrow and knock out a really good recap of all this incredible tournament action that we've been really just kind of it's been a pleasure to sit here and call it. Shooting tells the story, Kenneth. 42% from the floor for Portsmouth West, 46% from behind the three-point line. Compare that to Valley, 21% from the floor, still yet to make a three-pointer.
Mentioned that before the game. Valley, a team who wants to shoot the three, has not connected on one yet in the contest.
Now West has Valley into the chase mode. They're going to try to spread it out. Try to take care of it.
McIntyre feed to Kegley. Bounce pass back to McIntyre. Senators not worried about wasting time here.
Nice job so far. They're 45 seconds into the possession to start the quarter. You take that.
Ball's poked out of bounds off of Conaway. It'll stay with the Senators with 7:05 left to play in the quarter.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about. Yeah, it's such an uphill battle trying to play from behind against this West team because their zone on the one end is going to slow it down, and then their ability to spread you out on the offensive side.
McIntyre pulls up and knocks it in off the glass for two.
Yeah, you couldn't really draw that one up any better there.
18-point lead here for the Senators. Lundy drives baseline, tries to get it back to Clark, but we'll get a kick ball out of bounds. Indians retain possession.
Yeah, Valley felt like there should have been a block on the baseline there. That was the reaction from the bench you might have noticed in the background of the camera angle.
Clark inbounds to Frankie. Frankie, three draw to him out to Conaway. Down, Lundy pulls the corner, three, too short. That'll be Isaiah Clark hauling in the rebound, and he'll be fouled.
Yeah, nice job just staying active on the offensive glass. You need as many possessions as possible, get extra effort. Valley has been able to get to the free throw line a little bit, 10 of 14 from the charity stripe, but as I said, 21% from the from the field overall, still looking for that first 3, and they're struggling to find offense from the floor.
Lundy drives in, puts it up off the glass, bounces around, and finds the bounce.
Nice drive. Valley back into the pressure now.
McIntyre feeds to Miller. Kegley has it near corner, trying to piece their way through the pressure. Kamer down to Miller. Miller off the glass and in.
Inside for 2, Corbin Miller.
Yeah, that's an absolute master class in terms of working against the trap. Great spacing, great ball movement.
Clark. Conway, Lundy. Down to Copen. Back out. Frankie pulls up from 3. Can't find it. Offensive rebound by Lundy. His attempt no good. And Braden Aggins hauls in the rebound. Kamer down to Kegley. Kegley going to work, and they'll pull it back out.
Yeah, good recognition of time and score. Kegley would usually go to work there, but understands the situation.
Miller off the cut, lays it in. 4 straight points for Corbin Miller. 13 points on the night, and he's provided excellent minutes on both ends of the floor for the Senators.
Yeah, great recognition of what Valley's trying to do to him. And there's a turnover.
Kegley off the steal. He'll step out of bounds. Go back to the Indians.
There was one stretch there in the third quarter where Valley was about ready to maybe break through a little bit, and they were unable to convert in the open court. Other than that, West has just been in complete control of this one throughout the entire second half.
Senators in their first district title game since 1998. As McIntyre gets another steal for the Senators. Feed down Kegley. Kegley off the lob, lays it in.
That's that athleticism in the open court. Again, never want to be mistaken for West not being able to play in the open court with the athletes they have.
Lundy pulls the corner 3, too short. McIntyre hauls in the board. Senators looking to hold on to win their first district title in 41 years.
Yeah, can't say enough how impressed I've been with them here in the second half.
McIntyre. Feed over Adkins. Adkins drives in. Kick out back to Kegley. Atkins drives in, feeds to Miller. Miller goes to work, puts it up, and gets the roll. Corbin Miller has 15 for the Senators.
Up to 17 now, and I think, let's see here on my sheet, 14 here in the second half.
As Copen lays it in through the foul, he'll go to the line.
Will Kegley with his 4th personal foul.
One thing to look out for, that's the 4th foul on Will Kegley.
To the line with the bonus, Christian Copen.
Copen's second field goal of the day. He scored back in the first quarter. West has been able to keep him pretty quiet throughout most of the day.
His attempt rolls out. Lundy on the follow. He's fouled. First team all-league selection will go to the line.
Braxton Cameron.
Chance to get it back to 20 again. 4 minutes, you can't quit on it. You got to stay with it. So you're trying to make these, and you're trying to get back into your pressure and create as much off your defense as possible.
First attempt up and good.
Back on the court, Kristen Corasso for Braxton Cameron.
4:01 left to play here in the contest. Second attempt off the front iron. After bouncing around, ends up in the hands of Kegley. Passes tip, it ends up in the hands of McIntyre, and we'll get a foul on the floor. That'll be on Christian Copen. Just the first team foul of the quarter.
The first team foul.
Copen's 4th foul of the contest.
Yeah, that'll be a factor too as we get going here, because you're going to have so much activity on the pressure and the gambling.
Copen, the lone senior on this Valley Indian roster. Miller gets it down to Carrasco. Kegley out to McIntyre. He'll pull the deep 3 and get it. Trifecta for Logan McIntyre.
You get these little bit of a blowout situation. That rim starts to look really big, and you shoot that one carefree, knock it down.
Conaway's 3-2 strong, ends up in the hands of Frankie with the O board. Pass is tipped on the ground, and it'll go to the Senators. Effort there from Braden Adkins.
Yeah, terrific effort on both sides, and on the 50-50 ball, and it goes in the advantage of West, as most things have here this afternoon.
What a statement here from West in this second half. Kegley feed to McIntyre. Tight pressure out to Adkins. Carrasco down to McIntyre. And they'll pull it back out. Senators just working the clock here.
Yeah, just nice spacing, good sharing of the ball, good movement to the proper spots.
Lob up to Miller, can't find the roll. About the first time I've seen Miller shoot it and not go in tonight. And we'll get a substitution timeout.
Yeah, I think that might have just been from the official, just trying to get some people into the game.
Eli Clark in. Leo Howard, Malachi Keller, Colton Stewart.
So the lone senior Christian Copen will check out of the game in what's been an excellent career for the young man.
Oh, no question about it in terms of what they've been able to accomplish in the program. Certainly been a centerpiece of that. And the way this thing works in program is even after he moves on, he'll watch a lot of these teammates put together even more success in the future, and he'll be tied to that as well.
McIntyre in transition feeds up to Kegley. Kegley pulls down the lob. Tries to feed it up, but passes hit out of bounds. That'll be off Colton Stewart, the 6'1 sophomore.
.217 away from the district title.
Miller's three off back iron. As Frankie will take it up for the Indians.
I think you'll see West probably go to the, here they come now. I was going to say, I would say you're not that far off for a little substitution on the other side as well.
2 minutes to the Sweet 16.
Christian Carrasco. McIntyre pulls the deep three. Buries it.
Logan McIntyre.
Pure shooting here in the fourth quarter from the Senators, as they can feel it in the air.
Bryson Journey and Zane Evans. Benton Knowles.
Offensive explosion here in the second half for sure. Remember it was only 17-14 at halftime. Now you look up there, they got 52 points on the board.
Frankie drives in, spins, puts up the shot, can't finish. In transition, off the glass, Zane Evans.
Caleb Middleton the assist.
The athletic 6'3 sophomore. Saw him dunk in a few JV games earlier this season, a few games we had from then. Long shot from Malachi Keller off the mark. Bouncing around, puts it up, can't find it.
Chance for some younger guys to get on the floor here at the Convo. These are two programs that, as good as they are now, I think they still have some good basketball ahead of them as well. So these will be some names here that we'll follow into the offseason and into next preseason as we start to look at what they're coming back. But for now, if you're West, you're not worried about next year. You're worried about moving on to the Sweet 16.
Evans puts up another and gets it to go. Zane Evans, a name I'll say to look for next season for the Senators.
A couple more subs in here, and as you said, Valley, a really young basketball team. They're gonna continue to grow with the momentum that they've been able to capture this year.
Frankie drives in, kicks out. Stewart. Feed over to Eli Clark. Keller. Handoff, Howard. Howard drives in, gets it over to Stewart. Stewart lays it up and in.
Nice drive and pass.
And that'll about do it. 56-27 district championship victory. Portsmouth West winning their second district title overall. First one in 41 years. They'll come back to the Convo.
Yeah, outstanding. The second half, you talk about just coming out of the locker room and taking complete control of things. They scored, I believe it was the first 11 points of the third quarter, and they never looked back. It was a 19-6 third quarter that sparked it all, opened up a 36-20 lead, and they go on to win at 56-27. That was extremely complete from the Senators.
We'll cut to a break, and when we're back, we'll send it down for the trophy presentation. You're watching Ohio High School District Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Jehu Howard. Isaiah Clark. Eli Clark. Braxton Conaway. Blake Lundy. Elliot Frankie. Jackson Bender. High scoring Jalen Dunham. And your senior Kristen Copen. Head coach Craig Tackett and his staff.
Valley will end the season at 17-7 in what was an excellent run and an excellent season overall for the Indians.
Yeah, it's just really the third quarter is where you got to go back to. It was a fast start for West out of the locker room. They outscore them 19-6 in that third frame.
The district runner-up trophy.
Outscore them 20-7 in the final frame, and you add all that up, and it was obviously the runaway by that point at 56-27. The big stat that jumps out at me is the 17 turnovers for Valley. 5 steals from Will Kegley, and we talked about it all the way back in the pregame. When he's on top of that zone and he turns sideways and he gets really long and athletic and he makes it tough for you to reverse, that's not even counting how many times he deflected the ball throughout the day or maybe changed certain passes, but his defense as well as the wing play of Miller and McIntyre, even in the middle there. Crasco and Kamer did a nice job, and then on the back end, Richards, I know, took the charge the one time, played extremely hard. Braden Atkins given good minutes. So just really, really complete effort. When you hold a team with Valley's offensive talent to 27 points, it's hard not to start there in terms of where you look for the key to the victory.
We'll send it back down to Lou for the district presentation.
Owen Richards. Damian Castle. Bentley Doles. Weston Ratliff. Bryson Journey. Zane Evans. Harrison Richards. A lot of time in the middle. Great assist, Braxton Cameron. Corbin Miller. Will Cagley. Kristen Carrasco. Braden Evans. Man who found the baskets pretty friendly here, Logan McIntyre. Head coach Caleb McClanahan and his staff.
For the first time in 41 years, the district title returns to Portsmouth West. And what a game, what a performance.
Yeah, it really was. Big time second half, led by the guys you would think they would lead the charge. I mentioned the 5 steals for Kegley. He had 16 points to go with that. Corbin Miller, big time second half. He had 17, 14 of those coming after the break, and then 15 for Logan McIntyre. Throw in 2 for Richards, 2 for Atkins. I thought they played extremely hard, and obviously Carrasco as well. With the minutes he's able to give them. Cameron coming off the bench did not score, but also certainly a factor. And over on the losing side with Jalen Dunham leading the way with 12. He was 8 for 10 from the charity stripe. And then they just really had trouble finding offense from any other source. Blake Lundy ended with 6, Copen with 4, 2 for Conaway, 1 for Frankie, and then the 2 came late on that final bucket there for the sophomore Colton Stewart. Again, just being able to muster 27 points on the afternoon. They shoot at 23% from the floor. They do not make a 3, and they turn it over 17 times. That's all just the credit to the incredible length and activity on the defensive end from your district champion, Portsmouth West.
And as Lou just said, the Nets belong to the Senators here in Athens. As what a moment for this program, claiming this title for the first time since 1985.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. When you give those types of stats, I go back to what I said something in the pregame. I think it's a great opportunity in this new format of the 7 divisions for a lot of these programs to jumpstart a little bit and to really take off. When you see what they've been able to do here, and I would throw Valley into this as well with what they have coming back. This is just the beginning of what's going to be a stage for the Southeast to try to get more and more teams on. And what it's going to do is it's going to send our very, very best each year to the Sweet 16, as we've seen on the girls' side, onto the Final Four. And don't be surprised on the boys' side if we don't have a little bit of that same stuff coming next week as we get into regional week.
What a performance tonight all around. I was really impressed by Corbin Miller tonight, the junior. He just, basically everything was falling for him until it was out of hand.
Well, he was right in the middle of a lot of stuff there in that third quarter. Remember that third quarter? They come out and score the first 11 points of the quarter. They outscored 19-6 in that frame. Valley did start to get the tempo a little bit more where they wanted it in the middle of that third. Remember, there was some early foul trouble where they were able to get to the free throw line a little bit more. But every time Valley would create an opportunity, it seemed like West had the immediate answer, and they just weren't going to be denied today. Once they were able to spread this out in the third quarter, they never looked back and just basically buried them at that point.
West will return here on Thursday night to face the Peebles Indians, I believe, in a regional semifinal.
Should be a great matchup, though. Again, Peebles, another team that likes to get up and down and score the basketball. The challenge will once again come from the ability to crack that 1-3-1 zone, right? West just seems to be the team that teams have trouble figuring out tempo against, and give them a lot of credit. They know who they are, they know their identity, they hang their hat right on that 1-3-1 and they play off of it, then man, when they play to their capability, you see their ceiling can be pretty high.
Back-to-back games here today with district champions dropping 56 points. We'll see if that streak continues with John Bruce and Carson Francis as the Southern Tornadoes take on the Notre Dame Titans. One last time, Carson Francis running the camera today. Kenneth Hay and Shane Combs. You've watched Ohio High School District Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.